Warehouse and Operations as a Career with you here today. I'm Marty, and I'd like to thank each of you for taking a few minutes with us again. I've had a great time out on the road the last couple of weeks, very productive trips, but it's nice to be back home and getting caught up. With our last two episodes, we talked about getting noticed and how to best utilize our knowledge, which we gain at every shift that we work, and communicate it with our supervisors. I'd like to thank everyone that emailed and shared your thoughts, experiences, and suggestions with us recently. I've had a few people asking about the supervisor's role. I was sent a couple of questions that kind of came to their mind, and I felt they were really valid questions, so let's talk a little bit about the position of supervisor today. Supervision, or any management role really, can seem challenging to us in the beginning. Personally, I feel the two most important traits we'll need to learn if we don't already possess them is organization and time management skills. I'm not necessarily talking about multitasking, and by the way, that's a philosophy I strongly discourage, at least in our industry. Anyway, with the additional duties we could be tasked with as leads and supervisors, you'll find that stopping and starting points, maybe checklists or task sheets, will help us ensure that we get everything done and all the bases are covered. Planning out our day regarding when things have to be done can ensure that we have the time to devote to each one of our responsibilities. Lead positions and supervisors' roles or their specific tasks are kind of difficult to wrap up in a nice little package, as every warehouse and facility can be structured a bit differently with an organizational chart that sometimes has so many branches to it that it almost seems confusing itself. Let's start with a definition. I love looking up words. Merriam-Webster explains to us that a supervisor is one that supervises, an administrative officer in charge of a business, government, or school unit or operation. When I checked out the word supervises, it states, to be in charge of, supervise a large staff, supervised the ship's daily operations. Well, there's the definition from a book anyway. So what does a supervisor do in our world? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. I kind of jumped off track again. Okay, let's look at the questions sent into us the last 2 weeks. I received several variations of this one. You speak a lot about being noticed and moving into management. Why would I want to be a lead or a supervisor? That's a really good question, and one I hear almost weekly in one form or another. As I've spoken to before, operations has been very good to me over the last 38 years or so. I feel it's a great industry and career path for those of us that need to stay busy, that need to make money, and have a check coming in each week, and enjoy working in teams or around other people. Now, yes, the work is hard, can be physically demanding, and even stressful at times, when we're taking our jobs real serious. Once we learn the mechanics of the warehouse, the general labor positions, and then the skilled jobs, we're unlimited regarding our advancement possibilities. The more responsibilities we'll take on, the more money we will make, and the more opportunities that will be offered to us. If you'd like to be the president of your distribution center or corporation, you can in this field. I've seen it done, honestly. As a matter of fact, as we get a bit further into discussing mid-management after the fourth quarter, we'll have a couple of guests on that started on the floor and retired as presidents and CEOs of large distribution centers. I always answer the question of why would I want to be a supervisor with because, believe it or not, you're going to want to make more money. At some point, the physical part of the job may become more than you're interested in doing, and I believe everyone wants to be challenged every so often. Don't get me wrong now, I know fork drivers, order selectors, and delivery drivers that really love what they're doing and been doing it for like 30 years. They've made a great career doing it, and I admire all of them for it. They've taken care of the family and made a huge impact for their companies. Many have retired and living a great life of retirement now. But if you enjoy responsibilities and want to be involved with making decisions, making and implementing change, the lead and supervisor positions, they're really that first step. I personally like challenges, and I believe a sizable percentage of the young men and women in our industry does too. Truly, at least in my opinion, it's just too easy not to. Another plus is you get to help teach others, give them that education that others have given us and shared with us, right? The other question that comes up every week goes something like, I've been offered a lead or supervisor position. Do I have to take it, or will I lose my job or be thought less of? I know this is stressful. Sometimes it may even take us by surprise. I mean, we're doing a great job at the position we have. We're engaged with the company and participating with our teams. We're doing everything right, so naturally we're on the company's radar. But we're really enjoying what we do. The answer is no. If you're not ready for the responsibilities in my experiences, you will not be singled out because you turn a promotion down at all. Now, our management team may work even closer with us going forward, to teach us more and try and make us feel more comfortable with those concerns, though. I mean, they feel we'd be a great asset, and the odds are they're right. You're doing everything correctly. You're a great employee. Take the leap. No one's going to let us fail. Someone's gone out on the limb with us. They're going to give us the knowledge and tools that we need to succeed. So let's talk about supervision for a minute. In our world, it will mean more responsibilities. Could be some things like setting up the shift, keeping up with rosters and attendance. Maybe we need to assign orders to be pulled or trucks to be loaded. Quite possibly, we could have some regulatory or safety procedures and processes handed off to us to oversee. And of course, the biggest responsibility and most definitely the hardest part of the job will be the team, the employees. All those different personalities we're now responsible for. Yep, their livelihood and safety may fall under us now. As with any promotion, odds are you'll think a bit differently about the positions that you're coming from. A quick example, as an order selector, you may know an associate, maybe even a friend that doesn't always practice or follow every rule regarding his or her pallet jack. As a peer or associate, you may not have really cared so much, but now you may find yourself responsible for any injuries or damages, and you'll probably think a little differently about it. You may be exposed to a much bigger picture now. Understanding the effect of such actions to the team and the company, shoot, you may even be incentivized on how well things run, so you could have an entirely different outlook now. If you've been following our show, you've heard from all of our guests, which has included independent truck drivers, supervisors, managers, directors, and a couple of different VPs. All of them started on the warehouse floor as general labor, or new to the industry and have grown through the ranks. You know how I feel about operations and how passionate I am about the career opportunities that it can offer? I believe it was John in episode 16 when we were discussing temporary staffing agencies that pointed out the possible earning potentials within our industry. Those six-figure incomes are there. All one has to do is apply themselves to their position and learn from those willing to teach us. You know, I have to wrap up this thought by saying warehouse and operations is a great career choice, and really all we need to do is just do it. I'm certain you're ready. If you're already thinking about it, reach for it and just make it so. And us here at WAOC will help in any way we can. Just send us a message to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com, and we'll certainly share our experiences with you. Now, management roles, they're not really for everyone. It's perfectly fine to enjoy a position or task and that can fit our lifestyle perfectly. I believe we really have to love our work. We're going to be doing it our whole lives until we retire from the workforce. But those roles will fit many of us. They're just that next job or task. Each new job has brought with it a little anxiety or the thought of the unknown. A leader or supervisor role is really nothing more, just another page in our lives. I hope we've explained the roles a bit today, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts on management as the opportunities are offered to each one of you. If you have a few moments, please check out our Twitter and Facebook feeds. You can find us, the little @ WHSEANDOPS, on both those forms of media. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on any episodes each week. As always, have a great week ahead, and let's speak to a coworker about safety or a safety practice this week. Who knows, it could just save them or us from an injury.